Check this out.
Welcome to BLPA Big Show. Hockey sports, life for the adult athletes. Yeah. Powered by the Beer League Players Association.
You better follow me.
Follow us, the BLPA, on every social media outlet. Follow the crew on Twitter at Nicker Jones.
Let's get it. Here we go.
Welcome to the greatest sports show in the world. A good week, everybody. A good week. That was the Daddy D-Wines from the Columbus BLPAbash. And I don't know if you know this, but they're undefeated going to the championship game, and they have a fella you might know playing for them. His name's Jason, and that's my buddy. And what's up, Jason?
Yeah, facts. Yeah, we're doing good out there.
Hey, but you came into this and told me I have never won a team tournament. That's why I hate them.
Yeah.
So do you hate them now?
Well, so like you got to give a little more context than that, right? Like 6 team tournaments or so I've been in. So roughly 15 to 18 team tournament games. Mm-hmm. Never won one. So that's a lot of games without a win.
Yeah, I think about that, and I probably would not like that either.
No.
And I go to team tournaments with Team BLPA, like when I used to play in them with the free agent team, and they got work too. So I understand the frustration. But for me, like as a guy running the tournament and playing it, I hope no one that ever played with me is listening. I never wanted to win because I always thought it would look shitty, like I was trying to stack things up.
Yeah.
I just wanted to play. I want to play tie games, or even we lose every game like 4-3. That would be the perfect result for me.
Yeah.
But as for someone that goes and pays the team fee and gets their ass worked all the time, I can see where you would be frustrated with that.
Well, and you got to be careful because someone that you've played with is listening. It was me. I played with you once on a team tournament, and we got mopped.
Yeah, but
the whole tournament.
that wasn't a tournament like I was running.
Correct.
I wanted to win those.
Right.
I wanted to.
Well,
win
we
those.
didn't.
I wanted when you wear the logo of the brand, like I say, we're wearing the BLPA logo. You want the BLPA people like, God damn, we're gonna be. But that didn't happen.
That did not happen. No.
And actually, we got invited to the Memorial Day tournament in Houston, which is a big deal.
Okay.
And Mark, who runs that tournament, has been on me for a long time to come there because, like, I'm from Oklahoma. It's 7 hours away, but I've always been busy, and this year I'm not. And there's a team there that needed some players, so they were like, hey, why don't you just come and be Team BLPA? We got a couple players, but you can fill out the rest of it. And so we're going. So I'm like, well, we got to win.
So you got to win it.
We got to. Yeah. We got to. And so that's that. But before we get too far into this podcast, I got to tell you that this episode, like many other episodes, is brought to you by HockeyWolf.com. Ow, 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 ow. HockeyWolf.com, beer leaguers just like me and you and everyone at the BLPAbash. And they're just trying to make the game more affordable for everybody. And not only hockey, lacrosse, other team sports. They've got deals on, like, team gear. Like, I saw a team here wearing, matching tracksuits.
Yeah.
And we need those.
Yeah, for sure.
For BLPA. But, do we get, like, regular tracksuits? That's like the go to the rink. But then when you take the boys out, do you get velour?
Yeah, we need. I think we need a little something for both, right?
Yeah, to party and for business. I think.
Yeah.
But you can get those through HockeyWolf.com. Ow,
ow,
ow, ow, ow. And they also. Are you wearing skate gloves?
I have them with me.
Ooh.
I haven't put them on yet, but so here's the thing.
Well, you're running out of time. It's this championship.
Yeah. I'm playing 3 tournaments in the state of Ohio.
Okay.
This year, so this is just the first one. So I've got 2 other chances to wear the state's gloves when I come back for Cleveland, and then again for the Columbus Decks.
Okay.
So I've got more time.
You got time.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. I know that sometimes you don't bring them. Now that they are here for sure.
Maybe I should just.
Or maybe even just for a little warm-up.
Okay.
Like warm-up action. But you haven't worn them and you're 3-0. I don't want to jinx it.
Yeah, so that's the problem is I wore them the first game and we won. Mm-hmm. And so then I'm like, well, I got to wear them the second game and then we won.
Okay.
And then I got to wear them the third game and we won.
Yeah.
So.
And I'm looking at this board. I see it like somehow it says Limbacher scored a goal this game. Yeah, and that's the only note I have on these boards. So obviously it was a big goal.
Yeah, it was
sounds
important.
Like, so.
In an 8-3 win, I think it was probably the 8th goal. So it's a real big one.
You really got to lock down wins. You got to go for the juggler. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that 100%. So I have a question for you from this tournament, and you don't have to answer it right now. We can answer it throughout the show.
Okay.
What, in your mind, is a ringer, or I guess sandbagger, ringer, whatever you want to call it?
Other than Jeff Peck.
Other than Jeff Peck, who's sitting here watching. He's a big fan of the show.
Yeah.
Speaking of big fans of the show, contractually obligated. Shout out Michael Cosentino
and
the whole Cosentino family. And I'm just going to throw this out here for a plug. No free promos, but I'm going to do it anyway. If you need some solar panels, hit up our boy Joe Luciano.
Yeah.
He's the solar panel baron of the Midwest.
Yep.
And he'll get you hooked up. All that renewable energy from the sun. It's a constant source of energy up there, the sun. We might as well harness it.
Yeah.
And make it into something we can. Let's get off all these old fossil fuels. Who wants to live a life chained to big coal?
Yeah.
Or oil. All right.
Big coal. Is big coal still out there?
I don't know.
Are they still big?
But who wants to live a life chained by them when you can harness the untapped and completely 100% renewable and bountiful solar energy? And if you need to do that, Joe Luciano.
Yeah, that's our guy.
Please, invoice in the mail. But no, and I want to throw out why I beg that question to you. We have a bunch of divisions, multiple divisions.
Yeah, looks like 6.
And so at the bottom we have the Buttes, which is the women's hockey, or the Beauties. I got yelled at for calling it Beauties. I don't know why. Not here, but in the group. Like that was misogynistic or something. I'm like, it's Beauties. Yeah. I don't understand. And then we have the Benders, which some would take offense to, but it's just a term of endearment. It's the lowest level. Yeah. Then we got the Dusters, which is one step above. And then I couldn't think of what to call the next one, so I just went Heroes 1 is the higher one, and Heroes 2, and then the Ringers.
Yep.
So what do you what's another name above like Dusters, but below Hero? Tryhards maybe?
Ooh, Tryhards would be a good one.
The Chards? Like trying to short
maybe
it.
Maybe just the Hards.
Well, I mean, I think that could be anyone in that in that group.
It's true.
So that's something. But here's what I had a couple situations. One, and I'm going to go out and I want to give this hot take first before I tell you this. Nobody but the team GM, the guy repping the team, should come and complain to a tournament director.
Sure, yeah.
Should not.
It's too many people.
It's too many
Funnel
people.
them up.
But it's also like I get that everyone has their own opinion, but it could, for me it didn't, but it could make the tournament director look unfavorably on your squad if you have guys coming up and you just the guy, he registered the team, he paid the fee, let him all correspondence, right? Especially when you're in the minority on your team, okay? So I get a guy that comes up to me on, I guess it was Friday night, angry.
Okay.
Angry as fuck.
Yeah.
Like just growling at me. He's coming up growling is what he's doing. And I I'm a nice guy. I'm touchable at all events. People know where they can find me.
Yeah, I've touched you.
Not in that way.
Oh, okay.
But if they have issues, and I tell them, hey, if you have a problem, come find me, and we'll talk about it.
Sure.
You know. And so a guy comes up to me, and he's livid. And I know, like, when a guy comes up to you in full gear and drenched in sweat, you know he just got off the ice, and he's got
not happy.
He's got a problem with something went on ice.
Right.
So
he's not coming to tell you about his goal.
Yeah, I'm.
Maybe
I mean, he's not Brad to win, but shout out Brad to win. So I can see him coming, and I see that looking at he's laser focused on me, and I'm like, here we go.
Yep.
Here we go. And he's not the GM because I know the GM, right? And he comes up to me and he says, well, you can see a couple sighs. What do you do about sandbaggers? And I was like, well, we don't like sandbaggers. We frown upon that. Yeah. But, it's a way of the world sometimes. And But tell me, like, what do you mean by sandbaggers? He's like, yeah, couple guys out there just flying over. And I'm like, slow down. Tell me again.
Yeah.
We got a couple guys out there. They're just flying around way better than everybody. And I was like, okay. Well, I'd have to go back and look at the rosters and where they rated themselves. But I was out there, and I didn't see anything that was out of place. Well, they might not have been on the ice then. I was like, oh, well, what did the final score end up being? 4-2.
Wow.
And I was like, okay. And so I chatted with the guy, and I basically like, listen, I was out there, and they had a couple guys that were better players on their team.
Yeah.
But in turn, you also had a couple guys that were better players on your team.
Right.
And when you talk about teams, there's always going to be some better players and some more beginner players, and then a mix of in between. But when I was out there, it didn't seem like there was anyone standing out to that effect. As a matter of fact, when I was out there, it was a 2-2 game with 5 minutes left in the third period.
Right.
Well, does no one come out and watch the games? And I said, well, I just told you. I was out there watching, and I didn't. And then he just said, fucking stupid, and then stormed off. And that was basically it. And I don't mind. I understand being upset about losing. I'm a competitive guy myself.
Yeah.
But how do you classify someone as being a ringer / sandbagger when it's a 2-goal game and it was close until late, and the guys that scored the last 2 goals, that's the only goals they scored of the game? Like it just seems like, I guess what we could say is that some of these guys hold back till the end of the game and then go. I don't know.
Yeah, no, it's tough to figure out one of those because, like you said, the guys weren't throwing up a bunch of goals, but you could have ringers that just control the game and don't score, right? They keep the other team from scoring. They try to make the passes to get their team on the board, but don't score a bunch of goals themselves. So I definitely agree it is tough. But we've also talked about, like, I think a lot of people struggle to get the idea in their head, and I was one of them when I first started, that just because someone's better than you doesn't mean they're a ringer, right? Like you said, every team
There's better
at
hockey
every
players.
level, all the way up into the NHL, has players that are much better than the average, much worse than the average, and then guys that are the average.
Can you imagine if, let's say, the Predators are playing my Flames in the NHL playoffs, and they came out with a statement and said,
well, Gaudreau's a ringer, bro.
How can you let Johnny Gaudreau play on this team? Like, he's far better than everyone on the team. Ringer.
It's ridiculous.
It just doesn't
ridiculous.
happen.
That guy's got to go somewhere else and play.
We need to make a ringer league.
I'm actually going to do this. Is a great idea. If the Preds and the Flames do end up facing off, I'm going to write a strongly worded letter that I don't believe that Gaudreau should be able to play.
Yeah, check that out on the BLPA.com blogs. But look at Roman Josi. He has like 70 assists as a defenseman.
Right.
Ringer.
Yeah, that guy's got to go too.
Yeah.
And he's handsome as fuck too.
Well,
come on.
He's winning the world is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Damn it.
Save some for the rest of us.
But yeah, so I mean, so it begs the question: like, at what point do you step in as a tournament director? Because you don't want to, and we disqualified teams that I feel blatantly.
Yeah.
I stopped there because some Buttes walked by and they have the best jerseys. Here comes one right here. Valkyrie.
Solid.
Hey, Valkyrie. Oh, he didn't even stop. Those are. It looks like he took all the Boston jerseys from the 1780s theme, and then combined them. Like, look, there's literally one right there in front of us. See that yellow? It definitely looks like
the same. Yeah.
We do have some cool jerseys. Like, you guys have some cool jerseys. The Daddy D Wines.
Yeah.
Valkyrie's got cool jerseys. Baja Hard has some really cool jerseys.
Yep.
Really cool. That's probably one of my favorite things about having team tournaments is seeing all the cool jerseys
that you didn't have to put in the time to create.
Exactly. But then you have the guys that are just like, they wear like black jerseys, like mesh jerseys with tape numbers.
Yeah.
Those aren't nearly as exciting.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, I mean, I guess I don't know what else to say on the. I mean, there's always going to be a ringer debate, but
I mean, it's like you said, it's tough. I think a couple of guys that are the best players on the team should be expected. I've played teams where the whole team showed up and they were all clearly above the division they were in. That's a little tougher, right? When like literally one whole team is better than every other player on the other team. But yeah, it's tough, and like you said, it's really on us as beer leaguers to be honest with ourselves when we sign up.
That's not. I mean, there's no way that is ever happening in because there's always going to be people like to win. There's no two ways about it. People they sign up for team tournaments to win the tournament.
Sure.
And they're going to find it's just like in the NHL with Tampa Bay Lightning and the Cat. If there's a way to skirt around the rules within legal means,
to not break the rules but bend them a little bit.
Yeah, people are going to do them. It's just what are you going to do, right?
Yeah.
So,
hey, speaking of ringers,
okay.
Did you hear about the little tilt that went down yesterday in the ringer division?
I did hear about a little tilt that went on in the ringer division.
About?
So, hold on, I gotta make a fix here. Sofa King, I'm also working while we're here because that's what I do. I'm a worker.
Yeah.
And so I'm editing the schedules inside to make sure that we have the right teams playing. We got Valkyrie and Three Rivers Mudcats. All right, I can just do those two. I can do the next ones later. So I get called over. Got a little bit of a tilly. And not a little bit of a tilly, a big old tilly.
Yeah.
A big old mountain of a tilly. Basically, team clearing.
Yeah.
Let's get her
There were
done,
a lot
boys.
of players on the ice, not calculating to 10 like it should have been.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, every player was
they were all
on there. Maybe even from other teams jumped there. I don't know. There was that many people. And I got the live barn footage. It's posted in the BLPA group. And all I could hear in that live barn footage was... it's like, Ralph, we got it. Your whistle worked.
Yeah,
we got it.
Right. They're not stopping.
But these guys are ringers. They played their whole lives.
Yeah.
And they were both 0-2. They weren't making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And they decided, you know what? What better way than to go out with putting our fist in the other team's faces?
Yep.
And I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want fighting. I mean, we're beer league, so we don't whatever. But you know what? I've never been a ringer player.
Yeah.
So
and I never will be.
So never. And so I used to always I always have said there should be no fighting in beer league. And then I have players that have played their whole life come up and say, hey, you know what? If there's a guy out there that's being a dummy and needs to be put in his place, there's only one way to do that. Because a guy that's coming in and chopping hands or going putting the stick up high, you're not going to solve that from putting him in the box.
Right.
Because we're at a level that we know what we're doing out there.
Yeah.
And so the one way to do that is to put my fist right in his face. And, I get that. And so maybe it's hypocritical of me to say, well, I don't really care about this fight because it's ringers. But it's ringers. How am I going to go up to him and say that didn't need to happen?
Right.
When one, I wasn't out there. I don't know what happened. And two, I'm not at that level.
Yeah.
I don't. If that's the only recourse, and you get talked to, and I went to both locker rooms. And I said, don't care about the fight. I just want to make sure everybody's okay.
Yeah.
And they said, fucking great.
Yeah.
Both teams said it, and then they were buds after. So it just, I think talking to the one team that didn't start the fight, the young team, they were looking for it.
Yeah.
And they found it.
Yeah, they got it.
And so, I love a good hockey fight. I love them. As long as it's not me getting hit in the face.
Yeah. No, I'm good with that. And like you said, these guys, you assume everyone in the ringer division grew up playing hockey, right? Most adults don't pick up the sport
until later
and then become ringers. That doesn't happen usually. So those guys grow up playing. And fighting is part of that when you get to a certain level. So,
and speaking of fighting, do you see where Mike Tyson beat that dude up on the plane?
But that dude deserved it.
Oh yeah, I saw, but I didn't see the video of Mike Tyson hitting him. Was that actually out there?
Yeah.
Oh, did he destroy him?
Oh yeah, he's over the seat and just 1-2ing him. Yeah. Oh yeah, just
can you imagine chirping Mike Tyson?
No.
Because Mike Tyson's been around the block.
Yeah.
He's been chirped.
Yeah.
He's been chirped quite a few times.
Yeah.
So it has to be on another level, or maybe he just had a bad day. But this guy just
this guy was going hard for
and I
a while.
saw the fail.
Yeah,
I just did the face of what that guy made. But then you and I were both tagged in a tweet from Ice-T by
Yeah.
Frank,
Yeah.
who also loves fighting.
Yes,
The
he
guy
does.
loves fighting.
Yeah.
He tells us not to say that because he doesn't want people to fight him. But I'm like, if you love fighting, why wouldn't you want us to?
Right. He says it right before he tries to fight someone.
Exactly. Listen, guys, I don't want everyone fighting me. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Exactly.
But the tweet was, do you remember what the tweet was? Yeah, it's a shootout. It's a 3-person shootout.
Yeah, so the tweet was basically saying that the internet has made people soft, and now because people don't know they can get hit in the face, they think they can get away with things. So we basically saying we need to hit people in the face when they deserve it, so that they'll stop doing things that deserve getting hit in the face.
And I 100% agree because I've done things that have caused me to get punched in the face, and I didn't like it, so I stopped doing those things.
Yeah, right. You learn.
Yeah.
And Frank, who likes to fight, beat the crap out of a guy one time, and the next time they played together, the guy was a perfect gentleman and told Frank that, he basically taught him a lesson, and he learned from it. What more could you ask for?
And I want to say Frank is not a ringer.
But not at all.
But he is a fighter.
Yeah.
So it's just the way it goes.
If we're doing a fighting division, he's the ringer in the fighting division.
There's I read online, and everything's true online.
Of course.
That the guy that ran the Danbury Trashers is starting a fighting league.
Okay.
Which is crazy because I think we talked about this on the show before, and I feel like now he's a listener.
Maybe he's just stealing our ideas.
Yeah. Hey, so we're looking at jerseys right here, and there's someone looking at these jerseys.
Yep.
And there's that jersey of me with my face on it, and watch this. Hey, I think you guys need that red one. Hey, guys, I think you need that red one.
Right here.
That guy right on the front. I don't know if you can tell that. Look, look at the guy on the front. He's handsome as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, what do you think about that one?
Nick's currently trying to sell a jersey with his face on it to some customers.
It's only $500. Oh, what a ridiculous jersey. So, but anyway, so I think Frank I can't believe we did those jerseys. I remember when that came out, and then Tim sent that to me. He's like, I'm not going to let you say no. This is what it's going to be. And I'm like, well. And then somehow no one wanted that jersey at that tournament, which is kind of bullshit, but what are you going to do? So me and Jason and Frank wore it.
Yeah.
Frank wanted it.
Yeah, Frank did one. Yeah. I wanted it too.
Okay. So I had two.
Me and Frank wanted it, and we wanted you to be on the team with us wearing the jersey, and it all worked out.
Yeah, it did. Were we good?
No, we weren't. We were not. Jeff Peck was on that team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how I remember when Jeff Peck was getting triple teamed. I'm in the corner saying, Peck, puck, puck, and he just dangled and lost it.
Yeah.
And I think I could have done some good with it if he would have got it to me.
Yeah.
But I didn't get to on that particular instance, which is nothing new. And I'm not saying Jeff Peck can't pass because I've seen him pass.
Oh, he can for
sure. He just doesn't like passing me. He's not running points games like he does with you. So I don't know what the big deal is. You know what else is great about big team tournaments? All the people that come in and they already have BLPA merch.
Yeah.
And then all the people that buy BLPA merch and then wear it over the weekend. It warms my heart.
Yeah.
Down to my plums. Yeah. You still haven't watched that, have you? I went back and watched it. It's a great part. I feel it down in my plums.
Yeah, there was a lot of BLPA merch being repped in the parking lot yesterday. So my favorite thing about this tournament, not to derail from your merch, but we'll talk about it, but speaking of the parking lot, the amount of people hanging out in the parking lot last night was a good time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's kind of the hallmark. And listen, we aren't a trend like what we say. We're not guys that explorers that blaze a path here. Like this isn't rocket science, right? You get hockey, you get beer, you get food, and you combine them together, and you say, "Listen, guys, don't be fucking dicks.
Yeah,
come out here, have fun, don't drink and drive." And have a good time. And then I think the special sauce for us is that I actually care about the experience. So I'm out there walking around making sure everyone's having a good idea or a good time.
Yep.
And I think next year I want to buy a golf cart.
Yeah.
And just drive around.
Yeah. Put some beer on the back.
What did everyone say? Me and you walked the parking lot and we talked to teams. And what did everybody say?
Man, you need like a remote control or a cart with beer, right? Like something going through the parking lot with beer on it.
Yep.
So that I can stay at my spot and the beer comes through. I grab one and move on about my day.
Yeah. And so we're going to do two things next year. We're going to do two things. One thing is we're going to buy like a remote controlled Zamboni and drive with beer. But I think we're going to make like a party row.
Yep.
Because the only thing that I did not like, everyone was so spread out. Let's put them all together and do that. So everyone's just coming in. We're kind of we're in here. I don't know if you've seen this big backdrop that we have here.
Yeah.
Shout out Frank, Fighter Frank, right there. Hooking us up there. It looks good.
It's a great looking.
It does. And it even says BLPA Big Show.
Yeah.
It's a podcast because that's what we are.
I mean,
that's what
plain
we are.
and simple.
Yeah. But let me also take a little bit more time here. I've done it before, and I'm going to do it again because that's what I do, and point out how Columbus is my favorite BLPA city.
They show out for you for sure.
In the world right now. I don't know. I guess I do know why. Like I have some personal connections here. I had some friends going in before I made BLPA.
Yep.
But as soon as we created BLPA, it just it ran over Columbus. Like my friends here spread the love, and then now it's like it's a big thing. It's our biggest tournament. The people are looking forward to it. We could have went to 40 teams easy. We just didn't have the ice.
Yep. And
I love Columbus. If I didn't live in Canada and I wasn't married, I would move here.
Okay.
Just because I love this. I mean, the only thing that I'm not a big fan of is the college football team, but that's because I'm a diehard Oklahoma Sooner fan, and that's nothing against Ohio State. They got a great team.
Yeah,
they're so good that I hate them.
Right,
and that's a badge of honor.
Yeah, no, I agree. Like, you usually only hate the teams that either beat you or are competitive with you, right?
Exactly.
If you got a team that you just stomp the shit out of every year, you never hate them. You're just like, oh, poor you.
I don't hate the Kansas Jayhawks.
Yeah, like
know,
what are they gonna do?
Right. I don't hate Iowa State.
Yeah.
I don't hate Tulsa.
Right.
I do hate Oklahoma State, even though we own them and we own Texas right now too. I hate them.
Yeah, that's the geography rivalry.
Yeah.
Right.
I hate USC.
Okay.
Coach Lincoln Riley, get fucked, bud. But hey, so OU had their spring game yesterday. Spring game.
Yeah.
A game that doesn't matter. And they said, listen, we got this new regime change. We got to pack the palace. They had Baker Mayfield's Heisman statue. We have a park with all our Heisman statues.
Yeah, I saw it.
They had them. It looks ridiculous.
Yeah, terrible.
It does look terrible. He's like Beavis. Which I love Bake.
Yeah.
Like, I do love me some Baker Mayfield, but the statue does not. Like, why wouldn't they do the flag plant where he planted the flag in the middle of, I was at the game here in Columbus, where he planted the flag right in the middle after we beat them.
But it's terrible.
And we got Kyler Murray next year getting a statue, so that could be terrible. But I said that because we had 70,000 people at a spring game.
Solid.
70, that's a lot of goddamn people. For a game that doesn't matter, it's a lot of goddamn people.
Yeah.
And in turn, we call him Tebow, the bitch out west, Lincoln Riley. They also had their spring game. And they said that they had 30,000 people at theirs, but I saw the pictures, looked more like 3,000. So,
what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? So, any shot I can take, I'm gonna take it.
Yeah, but no, Columbus has definitely been your town for the past few years. So it's good to see the support's still there, and
hopefully it continues to grow.
I mean, they were already. I was in here earlier today, and they were already talking about next year. Like,
there we go.
Like, I mean, we're not even done here yet, and we're already like next year we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that. And
and you know what? Like, we have one in DC, which is almost as big. It's 24, 26. Last year was 28. I think we're a little low this year. But then we also have a Seattle one. We have we did Colorado Springs already. We added Detroit last week. It's at the end of June. We have one more, Philly and Minnesota. And then we got the Beer League World Championships. And here in just about, game starts at 10:50, so at 11:50 we'll have crowned another invitee to the Beer League World Championships.
First champion of Columbus.
You could potentially, but you're playing a tough game. You got a tough go.
The team we're playing is solid.
They're very solid.
Very good.
Very, very good. And I think you guys are going to have your hands full.
Yep.
But I do wish you luck.
Thank you.
I do want you to win, so then you can come to Vegas and we can do a Beer League World Championships. But the good part about it is that if you don't win here, plenty of opportunity to come and win another one. But don't sandbag it up. Don't drop down. Don't go down to Benders.
It's tough for me to sandbag it up.
Yeah, well, I was talking to the people out there.
Yeah.
But then we have the draft coming up, Cleveland Dex.
I'll be there.
Have you seen those jerseys?
Probably. I can't think of what they look like.
Here, we'll do it right here because I'm at my computer. So you know what's in Cleveland?
Yeah.
That's of note.
This is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I want the Prince jersey.
So we do have the Prince. So here are the 4 jerseys that we released.
That one's dope.
We got the Beatles.
Yep. I dig it.
James Brown.
It's a little too yellow for me.
Papa's got a brand new bag.
A little too yellow for me.
Yeah.
But it's a good-looking jersey.
Yeah. So if it's yellow, that's...
Oh, I did not know.
If it's yellow, that's probably the one I'm going to get. But
Yeah.
anyway.
I did not know there was a Kiss jersey. So let me tell you this.
Okay.
Kiss is the band I've seen more times than any other band in concert.
Okay.
My dad is a huge Kiss fan. I was just telling this story yesterday. First ever concert, I was 6 years old. Went to see Kiss.
Mm-hmm.
The guys behind us.
You went to a Hard Rock concert when you were 6?
Yes. The guys behind us started smoking some things that were not cigarettes.
Yep. Okay.
And it was the first time I had ever smelled it. And I asked my dad, what's that smell? And then I told him that I didn't feel good. And apparently I got a little contact high at 6 when I was at a Kiss concert.
Well, there you go. Okay. But I think I'm
going to have to go with a Kiss jersey now because...
I released that and someone said, "Look it up, bitch." And then you got Big.
Oh, that's a good one.
A little Notorious.
Oh, man, these are good.
Notorious.
How do I pick?
I don't know. But
it's gonna be tough
do
to
you
not
also
go Biggie.
love it when they call you Big Papa?
I do.
Because I do too.
I enjoy it.
And then last but not least, where's this one? Come on, Big Daddy. Queen.
Queen's
little
good.
Freddie Mercury.
Yeah, Queen's good
Little-
too.
So
They're all really good.
They're good.
I don't want the James Brown one. It's too yellow. But other than that, I think I'd be happy with any of those jerseys.
well, I know which one you're going to get now. It's probably going to be James Brown.
Probably.
That's just the way it goes. It's always the one that you say that you don't want that you always get. But, it is what it is. But those are some good jerseys.
Solid.
And then after that, what's our next? So we go DC Bash.
Yep.
We go Cleveland Dex. And then we do Memorial Day in Houston for Team BLPA. If you want to join the team, you want to come down to Houston, hit us up. We'll be out there selling merch for sure. They're going to let us pull down the trailer, and hopefully by then we'll have our trailer wrapped.
Yeah.
And that'll be a good time. We'll be rolling down the street and people are like, what's BLPA? Well, let's go to BLPA.com and check it out. And now they're in the BLPA.
That's it.
Then we have, what do we have next after that? Then we're in Seattle for a team tournament. And then the Dexes don't really get started again until in end of June. And then it's every weekend, basically. We're somewhere. So
yeah,
I'm super stoked about that. I'm already tired thinking about it, but you know what? For the peoples, that's what I do.
You gotta do it. Yeah.
For the peoples. Anything else we want to talk about on today? I know we're not quite at our hour limit, so people aren't tired of hearing from us. Who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup? We don't usually do NHL talk, but
we don't. But yeah, we're rolling in on playoffs. I think it's going to be Colorado versus Florida.
That's on the East. That's a good choice.
I like Florida.
I'm a Florida fan because Samuel Bennett plays for them, and he's
playing really well down there.
Yeah, he's the highest ever Flames draft pick, and he doesn't play with the Flames. Go figure. And he kind of got a raw deal, and maybe not a raw deal. He just wasn't performing.
Right.
But he was saddled with some third line guys, and right now when you think about it, when you have Tkachuk, Lindholm, and Gaudreau. Tkachuk and Gaudreau both have 100 points. He wasn't going to find a fit on the first line like he has in Florida. Maybe he's on the second line. And even the second line, we didn't have the pieces around here. Actually, trading him got us the pieces to get a Tyler Toffoli or a Kalle Järnkrok, whatever his name, because he was a Predator, right?
Yeah, original.
And so I love. He's also the first NHL player I ever interviewed in person. And so I have a soft spot for Samuel, and I call him Samuel because we're best friends. That's what the good friends call him. But
so you guys don't do that. Only Nick.
Yeah,
listeners,
don't. Yeah, me and Samuel. So on the other side, though, it's been a long time. It's about the first time in my history of a hockey fan that my Flames have been really good.
Yeah.
And listen, we had good teams. Like we had Jerome McGinley.
Yeah,
we had Alex Tanguay with Christian Huselius and Olli Jokinen. We had good squads. Damon Langkow was a warrior. Dion Phaneuf, Mika Kiprusoff. That was a solid team.
Yeah,
but they didn't excite me like this team excites me, and so because they've excited me, I want to say, and maybe this is a detriment to them. I'm sorry. But I'm going to do it. I think the Flames get to the Stanley Cup Finals.
Okay.
And how fitting would that be? How fitting would it be if they play Samuel Bennett? And then if Samuel Bennett wins, I'm happy because he won a cup.
Right.
But he beat my Flames. But if the Flames win, then it's like, well, good thing we traded away Sam Bennett. So
Yeah.
a lot of
Win-win
storylines there.
there.
You don't think Tampa's going to step it up in the playoffs?
They definitely could, for sure. I think Tampa could turn it on at any time. They're fighting kind of for that last spot in their division / a wild card spot, which is weird because they're such a talented team.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a little bit of winning fatigue. Like, that's a real thing, right? They've won 2 cups in a row. And you get a little bit of winning fatigue where you just kind of get complacent. Like, oh, we win all the time. Like, what? We don't have to really turn it on.
I mean, last year they literally did not. Like, they didn't have their best player until the whole
right. So I mean, they're a team that can start in the playoffs and just be like, okay, we're gonna click it on now and definitely get there. But I think Florida, they're good. Don't get me wrong. Like, I think Florida's a really good squad. But I'm rooting for them because they're a non-traditional hockey market that hasn't won a whole bunch. So like Nashville, like that's a parallel with Nashville that they have. So and I think they're an exciting team to watch.
Nashville's never won a cup, right?
No.
What teams haven't won a cup? Nashville hasn't won a cup. I guess Florida hasn't. Columbus hasn't. The Canes have won a cup.
Yep.
Any other? Coyotes probably. Have the Coyotes won a cup? Yeah, they won.
Probably not as the Coyotes.
Vancouver Canucks
have not
won a cup.
Sharks?
Have the Sharks not won?
I don't think the Sharks have either. They've been to a lot of finals, but I don't think they've won.
They couldn't. They've been to the Promised Land, but they weren't able to finish. Yeah, another team out there though is Carolina. Great squad
They're good,
too.
Yeah.
So that's a tough. That's kind of a 3-headed beast, right? It's going to be one of those 3. Like, we're really going out on limbs here on the BLPA Big Show.
Well, I mean, you got teams like Toronto could sneak in. Probably not. They're probably going to lose first round. I mean, that's how Toronto generally rolls.
Last I heard, obviously I've been busy this weekend, but Austin Matthews was hurt, so they shut him down, and everyone's mad he wasn't going to get 60. But if he's hurt, that could be a problem.
Yeah.
That could be a problem for
people getting mad that he's not getting
60
achievement for the regular season and at risk of not playing in the postseason.
Like,
is ridiculous.
Like, listen, this isn't Jeff Peck counting his goals
right
at a Dex.
Right.
No offense, Jeff Peck. No offense, Jeff Peck. This is Austin Matthews that wants to win a championship and not have 60 goals. Because you know what? He's going to score more goals in his life.
But probably.
I think.
If I was a gambling man, and I am, I would gamble on him scoring more goals later on in his career.
Money lining.
Yeah, I'm money lining that all day.
So I think I do have one question for you. I forgot to ask you. Why are you so pissy, bud?
So, that's a good question, Nick. And you know what? The last few episodes, I've really been hammering on Marriott.
Okay.
I mean, I've just been giving it to him, right?
Giving her, yeah.
Well, this is what I want to do today, Nick. I want to take a book out of Nikki Positivity.
Well, I like that, yeah.
And I'm going to say that I'm staying at a Marriott here in Columbus.
Okay.
And it's a nice 2-room suite with a.
Which one? Which Marriott?
I'm at the Sheraton Suites.
Okay, I like
got
that.
A little living room, nice king size bed, solid bathroom. Mm-hmm. Everyone there's been super nice. They gave me free breakfast both days.
Has there been is there a bathtub, like a big?
No, it's got a big shower.
Okay, well,
nice
I like big
shower.
showers. Yeah. One where you can get drunk and then lay down and just let this. Yeah, that's the best kind.
So
that's the best kind.
Shout out to Marriott this week for getting off my shit list.
Yeah.
And not making me pissy.
I had a Marriott this weekend. It was a Courtyard Marriott, and I checked in and they gave me a room and I walked in and it smelled like shit. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, I can't be in here. And then so basically I went to the front desk. I said, can you move me rooms? They said no. And I said, well, then you're going to have to move me hotels because this is gross. And they're like, well, you can't stay. And I'm like, go smell it, bud. He's like, yeah, we're fixing some pipes. I'm like, why would you even let if you knew it was bad?
Gross.
Like what? And so I went to 4 Points Sheridan. Yeah. It's just a run-of-the-mill
4 Points
hotel.
are okay.
Yeah, it's just a run-of-the-mill. I haven't really been there, so it's not hadn't been a big deal. But I do love me some Marriott.
So shout out to Marriott this week for getting off the shit list.
Are you a member anywhere else?
I'm not.
No, I think I'm Gold and Hilton, but you would be Gold and Hilton because you have an Amex Platinum. So if you sign up,
I get the free thing,
if you sign up, you're already a Gold. So
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Other than that, man, yeah, I can't think of any other hotel chains that I really stay at, but I am a big Marriott fan. One thing I want, the reason I brought up Columbus earlier, and I'm circling back. There's a lot of things going on in my mind right now. I'm circling back there. What's up, Alyssa? Do you want to say hi on the? This is Alyssa. She does our social media stuff for the things. Just talking to Jason's microphone there. Get really close. You got to get really close to it. Like your mouth right on the bulb.
What do you want me to say?
I just wanted you to say hi to the people on the podcast.
Hi, everyone.
Can you tell people about your experience at the BLPAbash?
Oh my gosh, it is so much fun. You see people from all over walking around. It's kind of fun having it in town because, half the people are showing up. Same team's coming back from last year. Got a group from Chicago. You walk through the parking lot. They scream your name. It's kind of nice.
Were those those ones with the kiddie pool, but they could only find enough water to cover their ankles? So there's like 10 of them in there, standing there with just ankle deep water.
Maybe.
Okay, yeah. They were. Did you not see what I'm saying? Like the pool's still sitting out there.
I saw that.
And I was like, why can't we not find more water for this? And this is all we could have. I'm like, well, it's weird that they could find ankle deep water, but they couldn't find shin deep water, which is weird. And it's also weird that there were 10 people just standing in the ankle and like get in. I'm like, nah, this looks like Legionnaire's disease coming.
I didn't get invited, so I'm a little now. I know why I'm pissy. I didn't even get invited to the ankle pool.
So are you saying fuck Chicago Riot?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck them.
Wow.
I mean, they're both in the final too, both their teams.
Yeah.
So, anything? Yes. Oh, you want to add something else? Okay.
Cause is better than Big Dad.
Oh, coming in with the heat.
Wow.
There's a big. We got to have.
Shout out Michael Cosentino.
Hey, did you hear that, Peck? We already had someone come up and say Michael Cosentino is better than Big Dad. You know. He says.
Yeah.
But the reason I mentioned Columbus earlier, and I wanted to go into this more, there is a vibrant pizza scene here in Columbus.
Yeah, better than I thought for sure.
Yeah, and listen, sorry, Frank, Chicago deep dish sucks.
It's terrible.
Solar Panel Joe, deep dish Chicago sucks. New York pizza is good, but it's not great.
Yeah.
Hartford, Connecticut, best pizza.
Yeah.
But here's the deal. Everyone has their own taste, and I'm no different. I have my taste. I like thin crust pizza. Just the way I like thin crust, not a lot of cheese, pepperoni.
Yeah.
So I'm a simple guy.
Just throw the pepperoni on there.
So I had one the other day called Johans or Johans. I don't know. It literally looks like I went to a bowling alley, like the old bowling alley signs, and I just walked in. You can't eat in there. You just go in, you grab it, eat it. It had the little teacup pepperonis, like the little baby ones, all over it.
Yeah.
And they were cooked to where they curled on the end and then held the grease inside.
Yeah.
It was incredible. But we got babies crying.
Yeah.
It's like I'm at home.
Yeah.
And then yesterday I walked over to your tent, your team's tent, and you had some pizza from Pasquale's,
I think.
Pasquale's.
I think it's Pasquale's.
And it was like they literally said, "Oh, you want pepperoni? Here's the whole goddamn thing of pepperoni."
Oh, we got pepperoni.
You couldn't even see the cheese. There was so much pepperoni, and it was good. And what I liked about that pizza, thin crust, nice and crispy, but the sauce square cut. Yeah. The sauce had a little spice kick to it.
Yeah.
Oh, good. And all those pepperonis, you're never gonna go wrong. When you cover something with pepperonis, never gonna go wrong. Are you waiting to say something, Peck? Or you just listen? Do you have anything you want to say? Let's get Jeff Peck on the old fucking microphone here. Hey, grab that mic, Jeff. Grab that mic. Let's talk about something. Jeff Peck, just tell us about things.
Tell you about things?
Yeah, you gotta get that mic real close to your mouth.
Like what?
But it's your show, bud. I'm just living in it. Let's go. What do you want to talk about?
But I'm just here for you.
You're a long time. Oh, that's what I like to hear. Sorry, long time, first time here. Just tell the people about
it's
stuff.
not the first time. I've been on before.
Oh, sorry. Oh, humble brag.
Easy,
humble brag. Oh,
easy,
my
bud,
God.
easy.
Oh, yeah, I forgot you were on with Randy telling about the time you got
where
abducted
was
in
it?
Seattle.
That
was in L.A.
SoCal, yeah.
Tell people a little bit about yourself. You get a lot of pub on the group. People know Jeff Peck. You are the Jeff Peck.
Okay.
So, just tell people. Just something you think people should know about you.
There's not really much to know, bud. I'm fucking Jeff Peck, dude. Man, what do you want me to say? What's that? Oh yeah. Yeah. Pastime. My secret pastime is I'm a basketball all-star, for sure. My favorite restaurant is obviously Taco Bell.
Yeah. Okay. And hey, listen, it's definitely quesadilla, right?
Now.
Yeah.
But only because shredded chicken doesn't exist.
Well,
anymore.
it's because it was so bad they took it away. But that's just the way it goes.
But
okay. So favorite place, Taco Bell.
Yeah.
What's your favorite beverage of choice?
Baja Blast. Come on now. Did you see our jerseys?
Yeah, I did. This is Baja Hard right here.
Yeah.
How many goals did you score this weekend?
Fuck you.
What? That wasn't a shot. I had one more question. Yeah. Whoa. Alyssa's throwing shade. She basically said, "How's your game going to go today?" Knowing that they did not make the championship game. Wow, isn't that
sandbagging bitch over here?
Oh boy, here we go. There was one more question I had for you about Columbus. Columbus is the biggest BLPA spot in the great nation of the United States. What is your favorite pizza? We were just talking about. What's your favorite pizza in Columbus?
My favorite pizza? Ooh. Probably gonna have to say Hound Dogs down by the university. They do like a real nice. You can get a couple different crust styles, and there's like a buttery garlic type one. Ooh, it's fucking good, bud. And it's more like a New York style pizza, so it's probably like more traditional pizza that you're used to, not like the weird square shit that you get here in Columbus.
Whoa.
Hey, it's not bad.
Hey,
but it's just,
you said weird square shit. That was a negative connotation.
I said it's weird. I didn't say it's bad.
Okay, good. Gotcha. Okay, well, I'll have to try a little Hound Dogs. Try a little Hound Dogs out there.
I highly recommend for sure.
Recommend Hound Dogs. That sounds like a pretty good recommendation. That's a Jeff Peck recommendation.
Yeah, noted ringer Jeff Peck recommends. I'm in for sure.
Okay, well, it sounds like. Is there a Blaze Pizza here? Yes. All right, Hound Dogs for dinner tonight. It sounds like so. All right, well, I think that's about it. I got to go, give out some medals.
Yeah,
give out some chains.
Trophy presentation for you.
Give out some chains and invite a team to Lost Wages. Dad Joke Sunday. Other than that, anything else to add?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, well, I hope we see some of you guys out at some of our events. Got a lot of cool video you guys will be seeing. We flew a drone out on the parking lot, so you can kind of see what our parking lot party is about. Other than that, guys, really appreciate you listening. Hope you come play with us. Be good or be good at it.